John, welcome to the show.
Well, good to be here, man.
So you guys just wrapped up, one of your traditional sort of venues at Old Town Blues. Tell us about that. How's that been so far? And tell the folks a little bit about what you do.
Well, we love playing at the Old Town Blues Club. Every time we go, we come here. It's a wonderful, warm audience. A little more on the mature side, which we like sometimes. Like to mix it up because we play a lot more of our old school. But we play a little bit of everything. So it's a great spot, and we're privileged to play there.
Awesome. Old Town Blues Temecula.
Yes.
It's becoming kind of a legendary place, would you say?
It is. It is. Every time I play down here, I meet people from different parts of the country, and sometimes from overseas, and you never know who you're going to meet downtown Temecula.
Awesome.
Yeah.
John, tell us about your background. Take us back. Where are you from originally? How did you get started in music?
Well, I'm from Detroit, Michigan, Motown. So it all started, my mom was a singer.
Okay.
And she passed her gift on to me and my two sisters.
Okay.
So it's funny how it all started. She used to push us in front of her friends at her house parties and make us sing.
Okay.
And we were kind of like, oh, Mom,
right?
come on, But eventually she taught us harmony, which seems to be an art that could use a little more help nowadays, because harmony is probably a dying art form, I would say.
Definitely. With auto-tune, right?
Yes, absolutely. So I'd like to see more harmony in music. And anyways, we ended up becoming a traveling gospel group, me and my two sisters and my mom.
Very nice.
So we played at convalescent centers and churches. So it really started with gospel groups.
Okay.
And Motown. So
awesome. So that was in Detroit. Mm-hmm. And then how did you migrate to the West Coast? How did that all transpire?
Also a funny story. I was a Navy brat.
Okay.
So we moved from Detroit to Florida, Orlando. Okay. Ended up from there getting stationed in Virginia. Norfolk, Virginia Beach area. Love that, by the way. Shout out to VA. And then from there, we went to Washington State, Bremerton, Seattle area. And from there, down here to Cali.
Awesome.
Yeah. Awesome.
What would you say your major influences are as a vocalist?
As vocalist? Well, there were so many. It's hard to
let's say
narrow it down. But
how about your top three? And let's say a jazz vocalist, an R&B, and then maybe something in the more of the rock pop area. How's that? Okay.
Again, it's difficult to leave anybody out, but I would say definitely as far as like a pop influence, kind of R&B-ish, I would say Prince.
Okay.
Jazz, I would have to say, I would say Chaka Khan. I know she's not a traditional jazz artist.
Oh, she's jazzy enough.
She was jazzy enough, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
She would be my favorite female vocalist of all time. And as far as the rock influence, because a lot of people wonder where that comes from, that came from high school in Virginia. And so that's kind of like two sides of the same coin. Now, if I tell you one name, it's probably going to shock you.
Okay.
But I'll water it down a little bit. Steve Perry would be my favorite rock vocalist.
Oh, that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. It's funny you say that. There's a lot of Journey cover bands that are sort of emerging now. Cover bands are kind of the thing. Would you kind of hearing about that?
Yes, that's big business.
I had an
nowadays.
opportunity to do something with one of the bigger bands that does that recently. And I was there, quote unquote, Randy Jackson when they had Randy in the band.
You had to get down like Randy
on the bass. Didn't have the spiked hair though. Okay, right. Didn't have that. But no, Journey's that's a great influence, and that's definitely something to pull from because you guys kind of mix it up quite a bit with your sets.
We do, and that's why we named the band Full Effect, because the premise is we try to do a little something for everybody. We do a little country, we do just a little bit, but I love the lyrics and the sentiment of country lyrics and messaging. And we do R&B, old school R&B, we do new school R&B, a little pop, a little rock, and a little bit of hip hop. So we mix it up.
How long has the band been together, and how did you guys form?
So the band technically has been together for 6 years. However, I'm probably the only original member.
Things happen.
Demps, Full Effect. Yeah, we've tried to keep things together. There's a book called Things Fall Apart. So we've had several iterations, but the current version of the band has been together for about 3 years.
Okay.
And I love these guys. They're my road dogs. These guys have been very instrumental and influencing me even, with their styles and just keeping it all together. It's been a lot of fun. I'm sorry. Part of your question was you had two parts of that question.
Well, how long have you been together? Okay, and well, I mean, actually, even more importantly, you know, we talked a little bit about your influences, that mixture of influences, but from a stylistic standpoint, do you perceive any sort of recording anytime in the future?
Absolutely.
Okay, that's original stuff.
All original. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. The thing is, I have a day job, which I won't disclose those details.
No, that's okay.
However,
that's smart.
Yes.
It keeps things stable.
That's right. Put some food on the table. But it's always been in my heart to be a recording artist. That's always been the ultimate goal. And eventually, I'd like to be a record producer.
Okay.
You know, once the ship has sailed on my youth, I'd like to help other people make their records. But for now, I am definitely working on a couple of projects right now, and incorporating my band and some other members in the community. So I actually will be reaching out to a bunch of cats and getting them together in the studio, and I've got the songs. And I'm working on them as we speak. So that should be coming soon. So
everybody listening can be looking forward to John Demps in full effect.
That's right.
Coming out with the recording very soon.
Absolutely.
Very soon. When do you anticipate that'll be on the market? Or
I would say
able to stream?
My guesstimation is December.
Okay.
Now that's the goal, because I've always heard from every motivational speaker, set a concrete date and try to stick to it. Now, if that doesn't happen, it'll be very, very close to the deadline. So December, we should be looking at releasing some music.
Okay. John, you guys are pretty busy. And that is a great problem to have. You've got a lot of residencies, and I always tell people I'm definitely an advocate of that, because it just makes it easier, especially in the last few years, how things are going. If you have a steady base, you can sort of build the following. But tell us about some of the residencies you have. We're obviously now at Old Town Blues. What are some of the other things that you do?
Well, we play, like I said, we play several different places, and I hope I don't leave anybody out. But the Cove Marietta, Cove Bar and Grill, that's a great place. In fact, that's where we started. Okay. We got our start when the band formed about 6 years ago. And trying to think, Somerset Winery. We love playing there. They have like a festival-ish atmosphere. I love it. They have the tour buses, and they bring tons of people, and it's a blast. Shout out to KC. She's the coordinator there. And Bailey's, Old Town, Temecula's right up the street here. Old Town Temecula. Let's see, I'm trying not to leave anyone out. Belvino Winery.
Belvino.
That's another wonderful place to work with. Gosh, off the top of my head, I should have. Maurice Curie Winery. In fact, we just played there yesterday. There's several. I could go on and on, but I probably need to pull my phone out. That's it. I'm trying not to leave anybody out. But we also play at the Shamrock Irish Pub. Okay. And let's see, am I forgetting anyone?
Now, all of these are sort of resident, sort of in your circle, or your circuit, rather, right?
Yeah. We pretty much frequent. Oh, and we just got booked at Shooters. Shooters in Temecula, too. So we'll be playing a show or two there, and we'll see where that goes. And I'm sure I'm leaving somebody out, so if I'm forgetting anyone, please forgive me. Okay, I'm sure they won't mind. Yeah. Because they'll just look you up. Where can people find you if they're looking? Hey, where's the band going? Do you have a website, or tell us a little bit about that? How you do that marketing? You can go to John Demps on Facebook, because that's primarily I use that business. I really don't. I'm not a Facebook surfer, so whenever I'm using Facebook, it's to promote the band. Okay. And also we have an Instagram. It's John Demps Band 2022. Okay. I'm sorry, John Demps and Full Effect 2022. Once again, John Demps and Full Effect. It's brand new, so I'm trying to remember it. Yes, John Demps and Full Effect 2022 on Instagram. Okay, so everybody will definitely be liking, following, subscribing, and all of those good things we do in this new era, right? Yeah, man, technology's moving, so you got to keep up with it as best you can. Do you do the booking for your outfit? Yeah, I do. Primarily all of the booking. Okay. Yeah. What is the most difficult task you found in wearing a few hats, being a band leader and the artist on the stage and taking care of the business? What's the most difficult thing for you? Well, there's kind of becomes blurred lines a little bit, but the difficult part is making sure that the band communicates with one another, and because it can get a little testy sometimes, because scheduling and somebody plays the wrong note, or ends the song improperly, you know, whatever. But that's pretty much the hardest part. But as far as booking and talking to booking the shows, that can be interesting because, you know, you have to negotiate price and terms, you know. So there's a lot involved with that. So, but the hardest part is just all of it.
Okay. So so to sort of narrow that down from a business standpoint in general, because we have marketing, we have promotion. You know, we're securing the talent, buyers, you're booking. So booking is the most difficult thing for you, would you say? Because you guys are very busy.
Honestly, I think I might have a knack for that. I'm a people person. Okay. So, you know, and at this point in the game, you know, our reputation kind of precedes us. So most people have either heard of us, or either that or I'm just a really good salesman. Okay.
Well, probably all of those things. That's another good problem to have.
We haven't had too much problem staying busy, so I thank God for that. That's been a blessing.
Okay. Now, earlier you alluded to some of the conflicts that may come up. Give us an example of, you know, a time that you had a conflict on the bandstand and how you dealt with it. And how you dealt with it.
Well, it can be challenging. Specifically, it's usually a volume thing or a personality thing. You know, sometimes we have volume wars between the players and all that stuff. Me included. You know, sometimes I get on stage and the sound guy might not have something exactly set right. So it's just challenging dealing with different emotions, and everybody's got their own personalities and emotions. You know.
Sure.
But you know,
absolutely.
In all fairness to everybody, everybody's an individual, so they have their right to their opinion. You know.
Okay. John, what advice would you give for a young musician, not necessarily a singer, but maybe, you know, sort of starting out, or even better yet, let's say we have somebody sort of midlife. They always wanted to do what you're doing. What would you say to them in getting started? Some best practices.
Best practices would be, for me, what worked for me was basically just listen to a lot of great artists. Okay. You know, and try to emulate them. So if you're a singer, you try to emulate your favorite vocalist and emulate those runs. Get in the bathroom or in a private room. Try to do those runs that Mariah Carey does, or John P. Key, or whoever it would be. Emulate their tone, and if you're playing an instrument, try to emulate your favorite players. You know, and you'll pick up some things, and some things you can morph into your own style. And that's basically what I am. I'm an amalgam of many different artists, and I just picked up things here and there, and then eventually, I'm sure I developed my own style along the way.
Yes, you have. Yes, you have. And that's why you guys are so busy.
Yeah.
John, thank you so much for coming to VIEWPHONIC TV. We appreciate you,
Dante.
And blessings to you and the band.
Yes. Blessings to you, brother.
Sure.